out here for you. You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you.
We choose truth over facts.
Never go full retard. Come on, man.
Hey, team, how are we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and let's just make sure that we have a little bit of audio here, shall we? Wait 2 seconds. Audio, yes or down? Let us know. It's saying we're fine here. Who's going to be first? Who we got? Let's see a thumbs up or a thumbs down, can we, team? The life of streaming with no notice. Well, everyone sounds good. Nicole K, first off the bat, how you going, mate? Jeez, it wasn't that long ago that we would have been doing BFAs this time of year, my friend. G'day, White Maz 3, how you going? Audio's fine. Elijah, great to see you there, mate. Is this the same Elijah from today? We'll call you Eli from now on, mate. Man from down under, aren't we both? Mike Ledger, loud and clear, 5 out of 5. Philip, how you doing, buddy? Guys, did anyone see the Matty Morris Zero Limits? We were back up again today for our second podcast with the man, the legend, Matty Morris from Zero Limits, and what a fantastic voice he has. CFX, I see you there. Welcome to 25, team. For those that don't know, I've had a pretty packed year already. I've had a doctor up to his elbow up my clacker. You know, I've been on a trip to a veterans catch-up up at the Sunshine Coast. I've also, what else did we have? Looking after the daughter for the parents out there, and probably about 5 excellent phone calls a day on the bat phone. It's been fantastic. My Patreon isn't working for some reason. I don't know what's going on there, my man, my girl, my friend. We've had a few people falling off Patreon recently, and I'm not sure if that's because I've been quiet or whether we've had success in them getting into their dream career. I hope that's the latter. I really do. We're here to serve. We're here to help you. And if you listen to the podcast more than you listen to music, you'll realize there is tools out there to help you as you navigate this impossibly unprofessional world of Australian military ADF recruiting, which I do not know what's going on there. Next time you're up this way, mate, I live Bayside, Brizzy. Now you should drop in. The hard thing is, NK, that if I dropped in on everyone, I'd never make it out of my own postcode. No, I'd actually make it out of Penrith because you're smart enough not to live here. But I probably wouldn't get out of New South Wales, for starters. Yeah, so today's about, if you want to join the army, watch this first. It's because there's ways to do things and ways not to do things. But we've also got the world where people are gravitating towards careers, life that may not give them what they want from the glossy pamphlet, so to speak, and the army may be what you want. Now, we've had a couple of negative comments recently by people that actually are really, really ignorant, that have never served in the military or have given up at Kapuka and then become experts based on their quitting philosophy. Now, that doesn't make sense to me, and I don't roll my way into your job and tell you what you can and can't do, should do, what's shit about your job if I've never done it. I think we're into some new grounds coming up, and we'd better change the way we do business very, very quickly as the USA Commander-in-Chief takes over. And they're going to expect standards of their coalition partners really fast. So we're going to have to change our recruiting philosophy. We're going to have to drop the DEI that is, so evident in all the destruction that's happening in the California bushfires at the moment. Every single person that you see on the TV, representing California, looks like they couldn't even hold a hose, let alone put out a fire, who have somehow made it to the top. 5'2" females with glasses that can't comment or take responsibility for any actions taken. Sack every single person at the top, all of them. Head of police, sacked. Head of fire brigade, sacked. Head of politics, sacked. If that's happened under your watch. If you were Japanese, you probably would have found a different solution by now already. Jackie Duff, here you go, mate. Hey, Kaz team, how are we all? We've got about bloody 4 Jacks at the moment who have been corresponding with on a daily basis. It's getting out of control. Fiona Craig, that's 2 first names. That's confusing. Entrenched with Kaz. Hey, Kaz, it's me, Kane. I'm using my mum's YouTube name. Well, that's pretty anti-testosterone. But, Kane, did you get kicked off something else? Northern gentleman. Nicole K, bring back the old recruiting process. What Nicole's talking about there for all those that are thinking about joining the military is you basically used to be able to walk through the fucking door with a drink of choice in your hand. You didn't have to be a perfect candidate, nor should you have to be a perfect candidate. And from there, they'd simply say, do you want to join the Army, Navy, or do you want to join the Air Force? And as soon as you said one of those, they went, well, go and speak to her or go and speak to him. Okay, actually, it was go and speak to him or go and speak to him or go and speak to him. But you went there to the corresponding people, and that very day, they'd done a litmus test on you by the way you walk, the way you talk. Are you at school? Do you have a criminal record? Do you admit to having drugs? Where do you want to go? What do you know? Do you look like you're fit? That was enough for them to say, no worries, mate. Let's put you over the aptitude test so we can decide just how good you are, you know, and so you don't sell yourself short. And then from there, all you had to do was do okay. And they go, righto, mate. No worries. What do you want to do? I've got this list of fucking positions right in front of me right now. If you want to take one off this list, I'll tick this list off. And as long as you do your medical and psychological screening down in Sydney or Brisbane or Melbourne or Perth, okay, or the remote locations, all on a given day, you're in. That quick. Same month. It was out of control. What matters? They went to Keyboard Warriors of Kapuka, mate. Stuff them. Yeah, absolutely. It's one of them I wrote the other day. There was a really disturbing comment in just how ignorant it was, that they basically said, who do you think you are to come on here and, you know, talk like you're some sort of expert? I'd rather listen to the words of a general or the head of an organization than the guys down the bottom that are the shit kickers. And I thought, what are you talking about? In what industry does the best person of that industry make it to the top? The person that makes it to the top is normally the person who's the most chance of being the yes man and following a narrative of whoever's got the hand up from the puppet master, you know, whoever's saying do this, and they go, yep, I'll do that if you give me the position. Alex, good strong name. I'm Greek and thinking about my English in Soso. Soso? Not sure what that means. Let us know. Camel, evil Camel 666. Hey, Kaz, have a psych review 28th to be able to relist. Going back after leaving 1RTB due to miscarriage. I'm sorry about that, my friend. For those that don't know, I take our children very, very seriously, you know, and the rights of the unborn as well. So, mate, I'm very, very sorry for that. 100% too many unsure what's happening there, need to commit and can't wait for round 2. And I think you're going to be fine. Have a psych review on the 28th to enlist. Remember, this is the reason why we come here, so you can get the answers that you can't find necessarily on the ADF pages, etc. What I'd say to you when you go to a psych interview is think about yourself as the employer, not as the candidate. Right? Now, it is not a confession session. There is things that you can definitely say that are going to get you absolutely cut off that list immediately. Immediately. If you mention anything to do with depression, if you mention anything to do with self-harm, if you mention anything to do with drug use, you know, risky behaviors, prejudices, racism, all of these things, you know, they can hurt you. The only thing, funny enough, that doesn't get judged as mental health for some reason is transgender. That should be the very first thing unemployable within the military, I believe. And that's probably going to take off as of the 20th in the Australian Army, I hope, you know, like it should be in the US when the Commander-in-Chief comes in. That's a long video in itself, but it should be fairly common sense. If someone can't make up the difference with all the tools given to them by God from IKEA, that they're a boy or a girl, while they can tell you exactly what the sex of a dog is, you know, then that tells you they're a little bit too confused to be handling hand grenades. And if they're getting triggered by what someone says about their fucked up choices of gender, then maybe we shouldn't be allowing them to be going up against an enemy that's going to do more than talk bad about them. Righto. Listening to the debrief on Zero Limits today, Kaz, always a good listen. Thanks, Ash. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know if there was a part that really jumped out to you. Jackie Duff, Kaz, I did that run home from work. This is so we could find out where he's at the litmus test with running. We were talking about, which is exactly 2.4 kilometers, and got it in 10:56. How old are you again, Jack? The cutoff for a under 25-year-old is 11 minutes 18. So you're already under that. That's fantastic. You got 11 minutes 56, 10 minutes 56. Now your job is to get it below 10:30. After that, below 10. And then you feel like you're getting somewhere. And then when you get in the nines, you've got to go for those eights. Hey, Kaz, should I enlist as an infantry soldier? Says the Grunt 245. If you're going to have a name like Grunt, you'd better. Let's have a look at that for a second. We talk about if you want to join the Defence Force, watch this first. Well, let us point this out to you. From the start through to the finish, but we'll do this in rapid machine gun fire. Before we do so, guys, I strongly recommend to you, I spend so much time on answering your comments, but if you want one-on-one coaching, by a 3-time instructor, two of those, no, all three of those actually, 4 times. 3 of those times were in infantry and 1 time was in all corps. Get on the bat phone. Join Patreon. For the price of a coffee a month, you and I will have a one-on-one conversation. I'm not going to have long debriefs back and forth via comments with people that wouldn't buy a coffee in return for your time. Come on. Be serious. Be serious for yourself. Okay. So when you go to join the military, you need to ask yourself, do I want to be a combat soldier? And this should be easy. Do I want to be a combat soldier or do I want to be a support soldier? If it has combat in the name, then chances are it is supporting combat, not a combat corps. You've got armored corps, you've got infantry, you've got engineers, you've got artillery, right? Those corps, team, the reason why you go to them is, one, they're going to be on the front line. Do they have the greatest risk? Yes. But it also means that you're going to be around like-minded people competing with you, not necessarily for the most qualifications you can get in an ADF career, although you'll get plenty in combat corps. It's a myth to say that they don't get a qualification. That is actual bullshit. But what it is about being around like-minded people, understanding the older you get, you're aging like milk. You might be physical, you might be fit, but can you mentally sit with these cats for 6 months, 8 months, a year in close proximity, without music, without phones, the devil's plaything, your idle hands, will you fit in with this group? So the older you get, the harder that gets, unless you're Army Reserve, because that's normally add 10 to 15 years to the average age. But I recommend starting off in combat corps. Make your life about fitness, adventure, travel, excitement, being physically tested, the best version of you. Right? And then from there, instead of getting out of the army when you've had enough, go, righter, maybe I want to go over to engineers now and get a trade, never be classed as an apprentice. Okay, there is no such thing as a first-year apprentice in the engineer corps. You could be a carpenter, you might be an electrician, etc. You're just a sapper who's doing a course that goes for a certain amount of years, gets accredited, and then you can go out and be that civilian dude, and you'll be the highest paid apprentice in Australia. Do that. Then jump over and go to some transport or something like that. Get all your tickets, and then go to the mines. Whatever it may be, whatever floats your boat. Yeah. Where are we? The Sutherland Bushcraft. G'day, Kaz. Hope you're well. I'm currently splitting wood by hand and listening to you. That's a good workout, Sutherland Bushcraft. You don't see wood choppers going to the gym after they're done. Nicole K. Grunt, go to TAFE and get your year 10 and 12 so you have a better chance. Absolutely. As long as you've got a year 10 pass in English and maths, you should be fine. If not, sounds fucking nasty. If not, lie about your Aboriginal background. You know, if people can say they're full Aboriginal when they're 1%, then maybe you can fudge that and be just as convincing as well. Give yourself that chance. Now, when in doubt, become transgender and go in as a female and get a guarantee. Alex Varr, I don't have a grade 10 certificate as well. Went to school in Greece. Righto, mate. So, Alex, have you done your, are you an Australian citizen? Have you done your residency in Australia? You know, you need to make sure you get that done. Aussie Sharks, combat corps or infantry, armoured corps, aviation. I don't really class aviation as a combat corps, mate, at all. Combat support, artillery and engineers, signals. No. I combat corps, I put Artie definitely in with infantry, you know, and engineers to an extent as well, because we can grab people from artillery and engineers, and then we can grab those guys and say, come and fill in with a section, and be fairly certain that these guys are team players. They're pretty good to go to run on the field. Signals, no. They're support. They're not combat. Okay, you've got it. Combat support, got you. Right. So I'd stick with combat corps, no matter what it says in the writing. They are infantry, artillery, you know, armoured corps, okay, and engineers. Alex Varr, thanks to Cole Lightfoot. There you go. I do things backwards. Go to the mines, then Army Reserve. Don't do that. You go to the mines, mate, you will you'll end up selling your soul to the golden handcuffs, and you'll never be able to pull yourself away. Come on, team, hit me halfway. Hit the like button if you can. And I don't know if it makes any difference to the truth, but let's do that. Why should I do my Spark apprenticeship in the military instead of as a civilian? I'll tell you why. Because if you go in as a civilian, one, could end up with a fuckwit tradie who's your boss. You're going to go in there as a year one apprentice. You're going to get exploited by the end of year two and possibly be left on jobs, getting still paid as a second year apprentice, buying all your own tools, you know, while the actual tradesman gets paid the full gig for what you're actually doing yourself. You know, when you go in the military, not only are you a soldier first, right, with engineers, whatever, but you're also getting all of these different qualifications in different vehicles as well. Heavy rigid, medium rigid, weapon systems, travel, adventure, training in your own time, training in military time, free medical, free rent, half rent. Guys, we've got people in the army now. Think of this. Paying $240 a fortnight to live on barracks paying rent for a fortnight. That is incredible. Incredible. There is not an apprentice alive other than it's living mum and dad that gets that sort of treatment. Free dental as well. Jackie Duff, thanks very much, mate. Get yourself a flat white tomorrow. Oh, you said fat white for a second. I was going to go, there's plenty of them in bloody Penrith. Work to live, don't live to work. Money isn't God, mate. That's right. And you know what? There is absolutely nothing wrong with the money, and the money probably gets paid a hell of a lot more in the army than what it does in your civilian job by the time you put on the time, the value of time, the value of medical, the highest level tier possible for medical support, plus the fact that you could go in there as a fucking tradie, you know, or a sparky, and end up flying around in a helicopter in a foreign country, you know, having the adventure of a lifetime with the best mates for life surrounding you, while you feel like you're living the dream. You're wearing the uniform. You got the Australian patch. I'll put it back to you. What is one single advantage of being a civilian apprentice, you know, over an army one? Back to you. I know you're not asking it to be a dick, but I'm asking you, what is one advantage of being the civilian? Training in your own time, getting up early, not being appreciated, getting exploited, not having any adventure, not having any time, basically no respect. Scotty Reid, accommodation is good too, food as well. You can leave your aircon on full time. There we go. In Greece, we use the M4, M16, the Colt version of the Australian. It's very cool. It's my actual favourite rifle, Alex. You're spot on. A lot of that is for the balance. Steam. Hey, Cass, 5 years infantry in 5 RAR. Somewhat regret not signing retention last year, but thinking of going cops now. Mate, what are you fucking doing? Sign the retention, son. Sign the retention. And then after that, go to the police force. Grab the retention and whack it straight, something my ass doesn't have at the moment, and whack your retention straight into the some sort of portfolio, because we've got a video coming out in the next day or so, which is about how to make $2 million in the Army. You know, you're going to like that one. Get stuck in traffic as a tradie too. Absolutely. Mate, when you turn up the Army as a tradie, you can turn up there and end up with, 30 guys that work around you, all having a laugh. You get to meet their sisters, depending on the age, you get to meet their mums. And then from there, you're getting also, unlike a tradie, you're getting nearly 10 weeks off a year as well. You won't be getting that as a tradesman. And by the time you work that out, you'll only be able to go into probably Army Reserve. Right? So just think about it, team. I'm not trying to give you all the answers. I'm just telling you to think about it before you make a move. And you've got a coaching system right here ready to talk you through start to finish. Hey, Kaz, just wondering if you know how long it takes for an enlistment date, just past everything now, waiting on a date. That's a fantastic one. I had a great conversation with a fella today, and he is absolutely pissed and has every right to be. He was ex-military, applied to go back in. It's 13 years later. Right? He should be a shoo-in, fit as fuck, healthy as hell, got his own business, got his children, wants to go back and put on the green. That is a testament. The best testament, beats anything that I'm saying right now, that he's now got everything worked out in life, rich in family, rich in love, but still wants to go back and have a second stint. He left before, like Johnny Utah, blew his knee. Now he wants to go back for his family and make this the rest of his life. Got all the way through, did the redress for his appeal, because he'd had something wrong with him 13 years ago. It got all the way through, just waiting for a date. And then it turns out that a senior medical officer that's never spoken to him overrode another medical person that said, you're good to go. They left him out of the loop, and he's just found out, and he is pissed, and he's got every reason to be. But because the military medical system is a faceless entity, who are you going to cry to? You're not going to get that answer. All you can do is reapply, and they'll give you, come back in another year. What difference does a year make? The only time that makes a difference, if you're watching this now, is if you were on medication, and you say you're on medication, especially if it's due to anxiety or depression, etc., anything to do with mental health, they're going to tell you you can't even apply until you've been off that shit for at least a year, because you don't want to be putting grenades and live rounds in someone's hand, that's got depression, anxiety, etc., and then put them behind other people and then make them operate at night time under high stress. That can go pear-shaped, especially if there's a little bit of pressure applied. Yep. Kevin, I brought a weighted vest since I'm looking to prepare for hikes. How frequent, long, difficult should it be roughly for the IMTs? Kev, mate, you bought it. I guess you can use it. I'd never recommend it. The reason why I say that, Kev, is the amount of walking that we do. I see you down there, Green Cobra. The amount of hiking, patrolling we do under heavy weight when you get in the military, we graduate you from 5 kilometers to 10 kilometers above that, etc. Not to mention sometimes you'll spend 12 hours patrolling without barely stopping, as part of a patrol. Through the day, through night, adverse conditions. You've only got so many Ks on your knees, on your ankles, on your back before you start wearing that down like a fucking tread on a tire. All right? So don't put unnecessary Ks, weight, and stress and duress on the back you only get once. Righto? Wait till you get in the military and then let them do that. If you want to do it for while you do push-ups, do that. If you want it for when you do chin-ups, then do that. Right? Don't recommend it if you're going to go in the pool. Do it during your sex life. You'll look awesome. Jackie Duff says, keynote for that video, Kaz, is going to be talking about his S&P 500. Absolutely. Guys and gals, there is no reason why you can't have multi-millions of dollars in the Australian Army by the time you've done a 30-year career. And again, we're going to be doing a video on that. Simon Powell, being displayed. Raffy in the house. Not quite hot gun anymore, but we've got a Raffy here. We've got Nicole. Kevin, I don't believe in weight vests, especially starting at 20 kilos to start off with. You need to build it up. That's what she said. Alex, it'd be an honor if I became an Anzac. One day we have the same enemies. Yep. And let's hope while we're here that the peace actually happens across the world in more than 2 locations in the next week or so. That'd be fantastic. Tristan, Joker in the house. Got to have a good sense of humor. Everyone's got to have a dark sense of humor. When you join the army, right, you need to have a dark sense of humor. You need to be able to laugh. You need to treat it like a comedy club. You need to have a great time. Don't get offended because we're all different colours, but we've got the same mission. Dean Cuzzy sounds like a Kiwi version of me. Waiting for my letter of offer at the moment for Army Reserve Infantry. Well done to you. Cheers for all the unique information you put out. Love your work. I love your application for Army Reserve Infantry because I believe if you're already a tradie in this, or have a civilian role or a police officer, fireman, etc., and you join Army Reserve for that balance, every cent you ever make, you can put that, you can put that in a portfolio and be a millionaire too. If you started at 19 or 20, by the time you're 50, you're going to be greased up and you're going to have girls saying yes to you like you're a fit-looking man at 20 years old in Thailand. But that's another story. Ariel, hey, Kaz, good to see you live, mate. I want to join at the end of the year. My sprints are shocking at the moment. Don't worry about sprints. Got any advice to ease into so I don't hurt myself? Mate, the best advice, and this is why you've come here too, the best advice, spend the money on your training and go to a boot camp. Don't be fucking Jewish on this. Spend the money, go to a 6-week, 8-week, 10-week, 12-week boot camp. Take a buddy with you. It'll tick off every box. Circuit training is how we do our training. It goes for 40 minutes in the military. Take a bottle of water, liter of water, drink it 40 minutes before you do the activity. Then you don't need to drink throughout the activity. You will get fantastic training from a PT, personal trainer. You're going to have the social aspect where you're going to compete for that pretty girl who wears the Lorna Jane clothes that don't fit her properly. You're going to make good mates. You can compete against those guys and gals. From there, you are going to have the best results you can because you don't get to set the motherfucking pace. Sorry about the language. Sometimes you've got to emphasize the point. Okay, what happened here? Something just happened down there. We've got Benny and the Jets. What's your opinion on a career as an intelligence analyst in the Army? That's analyst, not analyst, for those that swing the bat the wrong way. I hope I'm going to gain my next life, to tell you the truth. I really do. That's a nice thing to say, Jackie Duff. Joining the Patreon is probably the best financial decision I've made, to be honest. And it's a pleasure talking to you too, my friend. It is a pleasure talking to you. As you know, it's hard to get off the phone from me at times, and no doubt I'll be speaking to you again this weekend because that's what we do, and I absolutely love it. If you want that, let's see that go up. If I can get to the stage where almost all of our live streams, and the times we get to sit together happen on Patreon where we don't get kiboshed, where I don't get my videos hacked and cut down by YouTube, I'd love to do that on a nearly daily basis on Patreon. Turn up if you want. Alex Barr, let's see if Trump will keep his promises. Absolutely. I've got all the respect in the world for Donald Trump, but I also have an expectation that he succeeds like he did in his first run. He will, as he has proven this before. Thank you, Nicole. Lightfoot, Kaz, I got a PB today. You can't do better than a PB. That's excellent. I only have a morning tea break to fit in the fitness. I did 30 push-ups at tempo. Fantastic. The new version of you. Yeah, that's where it needs to be. Future 2 hour. Speaking of Jews, Kaz, what are your thoughts about the ceasefire in Gaza? Well, it can't work. And I'm not trying to be a dick here. I'm not trying to be a dick. But Hamas, they're going to use this as a regrouping tactic. That's what they're going to use it for, because I tell you right now, Hamas is allergic to peace. They lose all their power if they try to be a nice guy. Just like you're not going to get sex at the nightclub if you try to be a nice dude. It ain't going to happen. Thumbs up if you can confirm that as men. The dirtier you go into the gunfight, tell the girls what's going to happen. How are you going to lay that pipe? You get the girl. If you go in there, oh, yeah, you look really pretty. Can I buy you a $17 drink so that you can laugh in my face as you walk away? Yeah, you don't get shit. Anyway. So, Benny, what are your opinion on career as an intelligence analyst? I think it's an excellent role. But there's stipulations to that, Benny, and that would be, you need time on this planet, time in your thongs, travel around other cultures, I believe, before you can be a good intelligence analyst. Now, the young generation, I believe, have an advantage because you guys are really tight, hooked in to podcasts, which I think is excellent. Excellent. So if you're into your geopolitics and you can also keep a fucking secret, then this is going to be good for you. Normally this comes with wisdom because you're making judgment decisions, not based on bias, not based on influence, but based on actually what you see is happening on the ground and being able to make deductions on what does this mean. Look for critical vulnerabilities, looking for your own vulnerabilities, something our recruiting does not do. We do DEI hires, which is killing our military. We need good people, capable people, but you don't have to be perfect. And we need to remember that. Because I'm telling you right now, I'll tell you in a moment after I've finished this actually. So when you go to intelligence, the best time to go to the intelligence corps, and thank you very much for your donation, sir. I'm going to buy some raw chicken tomorrow and feed on that. But when you go to intelligence, the best way to do it is go and do 4 years in signals, 4 years in transport, 4 years in infantry, 4 years in aviation, and then go over there. So you've got your frontal cortex well developed. You're able to relax, slow down, drop the ego, and just look at things analytically rather than egotistically, because sometimes, you'll be making decisions and making briefs based on something you don't even agree with. Then you've got to be able to also keep your mouth shut. But I think it's a fantastic role. What were we going to say there? I don't even know how to pronounce that. GLGLGLGLGGLA. I was going to do a Sparky apprenticeship when I finished school recently, but I've gotten second thoughts and joining the infantry has been the only thing on my mind, I'd imagine. That's fantastic. That's what I'd recommend to you. Go in and join the military. Go in and join infantry. Make those buddies. Have those adventures. Get paid. Almost no rent. Meet the chicks. Live the life on red line, 9,000 revs, in a 1967 combi. That's a lot of revs. And then from there go, no worries. I've done my time. Who can ever complain? Now let me segue into engineers. What happens if you end up going over to infantry and then 6 years later, you're a fucking dog handler where you don't even pay for the food, where you get your own dog? You might go to MPs instead of engineers and end up with an attack dog. There'd be a line for that role, mate. It is easy when you're getting out of school to feel pressured to go to uni, to get pressured to do an apprenticeship, to be pressured to do something. Well, I tell you what, no one can tell you what it's like to be in the army, but we can tell you that anyone can pretty well do it. You determine how effective you are. What determines a good soldier is not that you're the fittest in the group, not that you're the best shot in the group. It's the fact that you are tough, that you finish everything you start, and you know the difference between being sore and being injured, and you can get along with others for prolonged periods of time. And the only way you can do that is to not take offense to shit. Okay. I was going to do this, but okay, there we go. So, Lukey Jenkins. So Luke Jenkins, I was basically best friends with his brother, and now Luke didn't even know that, joined Patreon. And now Luke, and I get on bloody fine. We don't speak as much as I'd like to, actually. And Jenko is now almost family. I know his dad too, was a PDI. all good, mate. Lighty, the ceasefire isn't happening because Israel hasn't agreed to it. Because Hamas has also started to say they're not doing this, they're not doing that. Yeah, I'd be pretty nervous if I was those hostages. And you know what? What are your thoughts? I am not going to hand back 1,000 terrorists as a prisoner exchange, for 30-something civilians. Sorry, mum, dad, you can stay over there, but I'm not going to give you 1,000 gunfighters, terrorists from Hamas, for 30 civilians. Not going to do it. If it was my daughter, you can have 900, but you're not getting full 1,000. Dropped a like because of that analogy. Beautiful, mate. Future. Thank you, mate. Kingslayer. There was a Kingslayer in the Dacian Wars. Did you know that? Under Trajan, he went and fought the Decabalus, and he ended up getting his head cut off by a cavalry commander, and still on his headstone now. He was known as the Kingslayer. So that's a fantastic name right there. Hey, mate, will having an assault police charge stop me from getting in the army? I'd imagine yes. I would imagine yes. But I also believe, Kingslayer, that there's probably two sides to the story you're talking about too. How long ago did it happen? Did you get charged? What ended up happening about that? Righto. Normally, a sign of not liking or having a problem with authority doesn't go down well when you're going into something like the military, does it? If you know what I mean. Lightfoot. Dirty or clean? No. Pagey. Spent a few rotations in the Middle East, and organizations like Hamas will never change. Absolutely. Pagey, you are right on it. They are built around oppression and the end of the Western culture. Absolutely. And if they didn't have Jews to fight, guess what? They'd be turning on Christians next. Nicole, you know who they were allergic to? Mongols. King, Nicole King. How long did this happen, and how serious this will come up on your security clearance? Absolutely. You won't be able to hide that one. We're talking about assaulting police here, team. Bullfrog. Hey, Kaz, hoping to give you a call tomorrow. I'll be free. Do that. Evening if you're free, and give you an update on what's been happening. No excuses on my part. No problems, mate, and I'm here all ears, as you can see. To anyone that's just gone back to training too, congratulations. Great to have you here. Understand when you join the army, you join a fraternity, you join a family, you join a legacy. Do you want to follow a cricket player who wears a baggy green, or do you want to follow a soldier with a slouch hat and an emu plume of the light horse? It's a pretty easy decision for me. Hey, Kaz, hoping to give you a call tonight. Yep, we saw that one, Jackie Duff. Otto, I did mine and thought I'd fucked it up and got offered plenty, including infantry special forces. I believe at the moment we're talking about doing the aptitude test. Remember, that's not necessary to see if you're a dummy. It's to see if you've got extra skills that can fall onto their priority lists. Understand if you're going into the army at the moment, that when you do the aptitude test, after you've done the initial conversation with them, which used to be called a U session, that when you do that aptitude test, that what was I going to say? You're going to get a list of jobs. Yep. After that, you will pick 3 jobs from that. Then you'll have another conversation to say, okay, what does this mean to you? Understand this. When you go onto the ADF website, if it doesn't have a priority role beside it, and you've got one of your 3 choices that says priority role, for example, there might not be priority going to aviation. I bet there is. But if there was none going to aviation and you put down artillery, guess what? Guaranteed you're going to artillery. If you sign those papers, that's where you're going. If it's hard to fill, they're going to put you on that list, especially if you name it. So get on the Patreon, have the conversation with Kaz for the price of a coffee, and let me tell you, in between all those lines, what you can do to fuck your career royally if you don't do it properly. Believe me, there is mistakes you can make, and they won't let you know when you're slipping up. Parents of young people, get on the bat phone with them. I'll talk to the entire family, answer the questions for the wives, for the girlfriends. What does this mean? When can we move in? When am I going to see them? every single day. I'm on that phone with a coffee, talking, laughing with people. Get on board. If you don't, it's all on you. Okay. Alex, can I say no to a vaccine while I am in the army? I believe you can now. I believe you can. Yep, and I wouldn't be taking it, at the moment either. The best intelligence analysts have spent time in combat maneuver roles to understand how the analysis impacts the actions on the ground. Absolutely learn how to hunt humans. Hey, Nicole. Haven't done my bit for a very long time. Well, mate, it's been a while since we've got to speak. Thank you very much for that Vindaloo donation. Much appreciated. What do you want me to spend it on? Nicole, this is up your alley soon. We'll be talking about finances, how to become a millionaire in the Australian Army, how to tick off every single box, including being a millionaire, understanding that women will not find you attractive until you're about 28 years old or you win lotto. A cavoodle still beats Kaz. I'm invisible when I walk one. Hey, there's me buddy, Barry Bradford. Happy New Year from Thailand, Kaz and team. Baz is back. Biz is big. Well, guess what? In the next couple of years, I will be living part permanent in Thailand so that I can live my life, with less stress around Buddhist people, around happy motherfuckers, and be around pad thai, bed turned down, and all the happiness that comes with that. It's not about going over there and just getting the kisses and the hugs. I'm a beach guy. I need to be near nature, even the monkeys in the street. Jack Albert George. Hello, cousin. Hello, all. Happy New Year's. Let's make it a good one. Jack, great membership there. Thank you. Great to have you. So Jack is the Lance Corporal at the moment. That is the worst rank in the Army. It's a horrible rank. I was one for a considerable amount of time because I wasn't about rank. Jackie, let's go back to Barry for a second. Bez, whereabouts in Thailand are you, mate? Hope you're not in filthy bloody Pattaya. One of my buddies is living over there at the moment. Actually, I've got two buddies over there, and they're both absolutely loving it. Jack says, so glad I fucked off artillery from my preferences, Kaz. I'm so glad we had that conversation, my man. Alex, God bless you. If I can say no more to a vaccine, let's go. I think we already know by now we've got to be careful what we say about that. There is a narrative that's being pushed, and as soon as you start to talk about it, we start to disappear from the internet. We get attacked very, very quickly by the algorithm. Who's in charge of that? I don't know. Jackie says, definitely keen to get everyone's opinion on the Swiss-French firm that has now been brought on board to assist with recruitment, and what does this mean for 2024 going into 2025 applicants like myself? Well, Jack, I've got to do some more research on that, but I am absolutely disgusted. I don't want to hear the voice or an accent from anyone from Switzerland, or from Sweden. They have no say whatsoever that happens on Australian recruiting. They're not part of the Five Eyes. They're not part of our intelligence community. They're not part of any of our alliances. Shut the fuck up, is what I say. That is what I say, because if you listen to other people, what's going to happen before we end up with a wolf inside the coop? And I don't have a problem with people from Switzerland and Sweden, but they don't have any say in what happens in a fighting force for Australia. Guess what? We're the best fighting force in the world. There's just not enough of us, and we don't need you to be perfect to goddamn join. Easy to become one if you invest your field allowance, deploy allowance, and do a budget of 30, 30, 30. There we go, Nicole. Future tour are better to beat the standard than a meter. Absolutely. You owe it to your friends to be the best version of you. Phuket, sounds good there, Barry Bradford. Are you going to be staying there, mate? Let us know. We've got a veteran here in my 18th year in the Army, and your channel is a great, honest resource for our future soldiers. Keep it up, mate. That's what she said. Okay, so Paigey, for starters, thank you very much for the turmeric donation there, mate. Again, this is going to go on something fantastic one day for my daughter with compound interest. His 18th year in the Army. Something magical is about to happen to you when you hit that 20. You feel like, I've done it. I've done everything I could have done. If I'd have been in the Roman army, I would have been given slaves and land for my 20 years service, and you deserve both right now. Oh, okay, in 2 more years. It's a fantastic milestone. It really, really is. And you should be taken seriously for your commitment for the rest of your life. Does it mean we're a good bloke? No. No, it doesn't. And I can be a dick at times as well. But congratulations. Can we get some thumbs up directly for Pagey, who's only 2 years off 20 years service? That's a fantastic one. I do believe, mate, that there should be an option for half retirement when people do 20 years, male or female, in the military or police force, paramedic, etc. And Scotty Reed, Phuket, too much fun. Yeah, you can get yourself in trouble if you go there young. Ed B. Skippy badges made of chocolate. No, they're not, sir. Which Ed B are we talking to here? Is this the actual real Ed B, or is it Ed B Jr.? It looks like Ed B himself. You can tell by the spanner. This, guys, I'll tell you now, is one of my favorite people on earth. American soldier, 11 Bravo, got out of the military like me, basically the same amount of time service, PTSD pension, but still does everything he can for his freaking community. He's got a fantastic wife. It's quite confusing. Her name is Chantel, but she's white. Okay? You expecting black, weren't you? And this guy is a legend. He's also done exchanges in Australia. Right? Can we get some thumbs up for our coalition buddy right there? He loved his time here, and I love my exchanges with the US. If you wonder why I'm so transfixed on the US, it's because of the way they treated me. The way they treated me. Well done, Pagey Kaz, here for another 3 weeks, then back to Aussie. Oh, Baz, let us know. Let's do what we can to catch up sometime, my man. Tropic Salt, 11 Bravo. 11 Bravo means infantry. That's their designator, like 343 is in Australia, mate. Jackie Duff, Kaz, what are things that the Marine Corps does better than Australian Army in basic training, do you think? Not much. They remind me a little bit of Australians. I think they're too, and Australia's got to be careful, they're too specialised in a lot of things, mate. And there's a lot of things with the US military that sadly, where there's some, what do you call it? Not friction points, but fault lines, whether it be between cultures, whether it be between the guys, etc. Australians were a small army. Small armies with a lot of experience tend to just fit well. And the Australian, there's a secret sauce involved with being an Australian, that you can't explain to people. Wait 2 seconds. I won't read a name out. Okay, we've just got, I'm going to say his name, but I'm not going to say his whole name because it's a fantastic name. We just got Declan, just joined Patreon. Thumbs up to Declan, who's used his initiative for the price of a coffee to come and do what it takes to make him the best version of himself. Declan, I'll be sending you a message after this, and you're going to love it, and you and I are going to have a really, really good conversation. Ed B, love you, brother. Kaz, we need a chin wag soon. We do, sir. For those that don't know, if we hadn't have had all the shit that had happened in the last 4 years, what's going on and the politics, etc., I was meant to be going over to Ed B, and he was going to chaperone me around parts of US, and we were going to go to the military hospitals and visit the injured soldiers. And I still want to do that. Ed, I still think about you nearly every day, and not in a Rock Hudson kind of way. It's another Jack. Think of joining combat engineers, but love to be in the infantry. Jack, are you on our Patreon? If you're not, jump on there, because we've got about 5 Jacks at the moment. We need more. We're like a car with 4 flat tires. We need 1 more Jack for the spare. We've got Zach Turch. I've never seen your name, I don't think, before, mate. Okay, here we go. Hey, Kaz, can you give a shout out to Stage Man? I certainly can. Is that actually you, Stagey? So Stage Man is from Western Australia, and he goes back to Kapuka on 2nd of Feb, I believe. Okay, Jackie, one of our Jacks, has just put another $500 into his future. We're not going to say his surname, so I'm not dropping you in the shit here. Into his future, fantastic. Gets me wet like a purple vet. My homeboys tried to warn me, but that butt you got makes me so horny. So, Zach, I dare say that you're actually going back to the platoon on the 2nd of February with Stagey. Congratulations. You're about to go back into training. You guys got nearly 8 weeks off. That's extreme. That's extreme. You got almost more time off than what you got actually serving. And they're in the School of Infantry. Pagey, Jack, combat. Hey, by the way, Zach, did you know that Singo is like 40 degrees this time of year? It's going to hurt. Pagey says, Jack, combat engineers do a lot of infantry minor tactics. They do. And engineers are also a very rough and tumble kind of guys. They're as dirty as a miner. They work very goddamn hard. The only reason I don't think that I'd go to engineers is because I don't have their work ethic. We get more of a break in infantry. We work in surges. But those guys, the job is never done. But the qualifications they come out in the brotherhood and the mateship they get starting at Steel Barracks in Holsworthy, second to none. Amazing. Man from down under. Jack, I've been having some thoughts too. Jed. Okay, Beverly Hillbillies. Kaz is in the infantry BFA. Can you go as fast as you want for push-ups? As long as they are proper push-ups, mate. As long as they are full push-ups. Almost 100% of civilians can't do a single push-up without cheating, not going all the way up, not coming all the way down, putting their arms in a bounce position as they're doing a tricep push-up, having their head down so they feel like they're going further down than what they actually are, no full extension, etc. Jed, it'd be very interesting to see how many push-ups can you do. How many do you think you can do in 2 minutes without actually your knees touching the ground, mate? Very interesting. Zach, good to have you here as well, my man. Pagey, Jed, push-ups are to the cadence. So not for the BFA, they're not. Not for the BFA, they're not. They are for special forces, but not for the normal standard BFA. Kaz, are you going to short the Bitcoin? No. At the moment, I'm XRP, and I had to get Casper because it's Cas. I'm doing pretty well with both. I don't actually want to push people towards crypto because at the moment I might be cheering too early. But I do believe we're about to have a renaissance with the financial market, and I don't want to pressure people on that. Scotty Reed says, is the 2.4 run gone for all three services and the beep test is replacement? No, the Army is still 2.4 for everyone, mate. Yeah. You should never see fitness tests as a hard thing. You should always see them as a way to show other people that you're better than them. If everyone is trying to beat each other, I don't mean in a gay Greek gladiator kind of way, then then that makes a better call sign. You never want to be in the bottom third. Never be in the bottom third. That's not too much to ask. If I go in a marathon, all I want to do is beat one black person running. That's not racist. That's a sign of respect. That's how I know I'm getting quick. Franks says he's off to Kapuka in February, preparing and keen. It's going to be hot as hell, and you're going to hit your ITs in winter. Ozanin, g'day, buddy. Hey, Kaz, a trainer at School of Infantry was talking to me. He's Muslim. Okay, Allah Akbar. God is great. And he said that he believes all gays should be discharged from ADF. I don't. And country rounded up and shot. Should I report that? No, because that's what they're meant to say. Okay, if he says it, if he thinks that, no dramas. Don't care. Do I expect it? Absolutely. What you'd expect that from an Islamic person. Their job is to say that. Don't worry about it. Don't take it to heart. If he talks about anything other than, people just for that, and you could say to him metaphorically, be very, very careful what you say, mate, because we're about to go into live fires. If they say that, he will get sacked automatically. So he's got to be very careful, especially if there's someone he's actually naming names about. Cheating and push-ups never feels good anyway. Let's be honest. You're right, future tour. Ben, I don't know if I've seen this name on here before. I've just started a career in sales, and he's 21, good age. I've always wanted to join the ADF. However, I'm not sure what field I would be best in. What's the go if you don't have a particular field or skill? What I'd say to you, Ben, at least for 1 month, come and join me on Patreon, and you and I will have an hour to 2 hour conversation over a 2 or 3 day period, where we can determine and extrapolate who and what you are and where you should be best suited. And I'll give you a rundown of exactly what I believe that you should be doing at your age 21. Okay. And then we'll decide whether you want to go what you're doing in sales, but also go to Army Reserve, or whether to stay and just go whole hog in the regular military. Simon Powell, Kaz, did you see the RAF appointed Kiwi officer as a deputy commander, Australia, and it's a she officer as a deputy air commander? I don't have a problem with a Kiwi actually holding a military position in Australia. I like to see crossover, and I don't mean sexuality, with the Kiwis and Australians. Let's keep that Anzac tradition going, for sure. But appointed Kiwi officer as a deputy air commander, but you'd have to be a pilot first, wouldn't you? I believe all senior positions in the Air Force should only come from pilots. Jed, Kaz, what subscription do I need on Patreon? The Black Legion, Jed. Go to the Black Legion. Yep. Applying for infantry in March. Hopefully you and I, Jed, are going to have some great conversations over at Coca-Cola. Bam. Or coffee. Up to you. Get a big cup. We're going to be talking for a while, mate, and you're going to love it. You're going to walk away inspired and feel like your dick is 1 inch bigger. Just like this tap that I found, on the bottom of the channel, when I was in Foster, spelt wrong. HD, Kaz, Happy New Year, amigo. Kaz, what Patreon do we need to sign up to get a phone call? The Black Legion, sir. For all of those that are not sure what I'm talking about, the Black Legion is a tier. All the tiers are the same. I don't mean tears coming out of your eyes for your jail time. I mean tiers, T-I-E-R. Go to the Black Legion. What happens is it takes a while for Patreon to put it up, sometimes 6 hours, 12 hours. And when the message comes through, what I do is then go in there, send you a greeting message with the bat phone number, and then we have a conversation. You won't regret it. I guarantee that. Jackie Duff. Hey, Kaz, they asked me as an assessment, what can I expect on my day-to-day routine once in the Royal Australian Regiment? Okay. The best thing you can say, Jackie, is we prepare for war. With the role of infantry, to seek out and close the enemy, to kill or capture him, take your glasses off, son, to seek out and close the enemy, to kill or capture him, to seize and hold ground, to repel attack by day or night, regardless of season, weather, or terrain. That training, when we're in barracks, is sometimes how our body can heal, so we can catch up on our administration, so we can get life balance with our children and our wife or girlfriend or someone else's wife. Other than that, we might be at the range. We might be doing patrols in a near area, a training area, high range. We could be in the jungle in Tully. We could be doing aviation. We could be doing naval activities. You could be doing armored, combined arms. You could be doing mill skills. You could be doing a whole bunch of things. So a day-to-day is always the same thing, preparing for war. What does that look like? Compound interest on basic movements, turning them into drills that eventually turn into something that creates a smooth muscle memory drill that replaces emotional output that allows you to be the best version without the fear, without the anxiety that comes with it. There's actually a very sad and disturbing video that I want to play and do a reaction for probably tomorrow. And it's about a cop in America. It's the worst reaction to gunfire I've ever seen in my life. Ever seen in my life. Watch out for that one. be ready to put a great comment down below. You know, sometimes we don't know how we're going to react until the pressure is applied. Jackie Duff. Okay, there you go. We've seen that one. Man Down Under. Kaz, what is the minimum score you need in an aptitude test for combat corps? It's got to be over 80. It's got to be over 80. That's for sure. Simon Powell. Ben RPS. I'm not sure what that means. RPS. Thanks for that. That's awesome, Benny. I'll join now. Good to have you here. Ben, as we would say in New Zealand. You know, look forward to chatting with you, mate, and bring your dark humour with you. G'day, Jimmy Smith. G'day, mate. Is this your first time here, Jim Smith? If it is, can we get some thumbs up for Jim Smith? He sounds like he mows lawns. Nicole says, where do I sit, Kaz? Because I have been AWOL for a long time, as you know, with the little Romans. Well, we've got 180 Romans painted up now, Nicole. For those that don't know, when you join the Black Ledge or Patreon, you also get historical miniatures, get painted. And the reason why we do that, the importance of having a hobby, is it makes you study history. But as a man or a woman gets older, what happens is our mental health deteriorates if we don't have something that can distract that. And if we don't distract ourselves, what can happen is it takes over as vice instead. So put in something early to replace that, and you'll steady yourself well. And one of the best things can be is actually surfing, being around the beach, photography, all that sort of shit. Tristan E. Recruiter wasn't very happy about losing me from their bonus when I switched away from officer entry, but they let me do it. Tristan, I love that, mate. Let's have another conversation soon. And yeah, they don't like that, but I like that. We've got enough officers, mate, and you can always go for that once you become a sergeant later. Yeah, Simon Powell, look, it's Ellen DeGeneres. Did you hear that today on Matty Morris Zero Limits? His latest video he's dropped on Zero Limits. I spoke to him. Go on there, try not to have a laugh. It was pretty politically incorrect. That is for sure. To get on there, go to Spotify, go to Zero Limits. Matty Morris is the real deal. X3R, Old Faithful. He was the also the what do you call it? Security detail for Taylor Swift. He was also a contractor overseas. This guy has been around, and he's got 4 girls, so he knows aggression. He also is security in Newcastle. So if you don't want your chin on the back of your head, make sure you do the right thing, because you could be fucking with him and his boys. Come on, Nicole. No Coke Zero. Luke from the Gold Coast. Hey, mate, PFA done. 10th February. It's on. Jimmy. Jim, I'm looking forward to hearing what's going on with your life, what's going on with your career. Every time I see Jim, I think of my uncle, or I think of a mowing service. Mr. Buckaroony, for those guys who don't know, the servant of the nation is here. Mr. Buckaroony, hello all. Sorry, I am late. Mr. Buckaroony, question for you. Can you jump on here right now and plug in your channel or not? Tristan E., is that the woman cop screaming in the car asking for a criminal not to shoot her and that she'll let him go? I haven't seen that one. No, this one, you wait till you see it, Tristan. It's horrible. It's horrible. Kaz, what's your PB for 2.4? That would be 8:44, mate. 8 minutes and 44 seconds. Which is funny because my PB for 5 kilometers is 18 minutes and 44 seconds. The Fresh Prince, Miss Buckery, watched one of your camp cooking videos. Heaps cool idea, putting a pot in the tree, heat beads, chicken. And we don't have to worry about bears over here anyway. Bretty, you're only late. If you're pregnant, mate, you're fine, buddy. Matty Waters, it's been a long time, mate. Happy New Year to you too. Happy 2025. The world's about to change in a few days. Mr. Buckaroony says, yeah, Fresh Prince, that was ages ago. The swinging chicken. I'd be a swinger if some girls would say yes. I just don't want their partner part of the deal. Going to be listening to the episode of my run tonight, Kazman. Jack, I'll be interested in hearing what you've got to say about that one. I think you're going to have a laugh. We've got another, we've got the member here, Latch. The highest rank you can be. as a member. He's the master sergeant right there. Well done, sir. Well done. Real FPV. Should be worried about being 63 kilos and joining infantry in 4 months. Yeah, real FPV. I'd imagine you're a wiry guy. I'd imagine you're a strong guy. If I was you, I'd do everything you can for calisthenics. Get as capable as you possibly can. I was 58 kilos, but then again, we weren't carrying the battlefield protective ensemble with the body armor. So it's going to take a toll on you, mate, but you'll be okay because the Australian Army, to make sure that we cook the books properly, has got rid of almost every single fitness test. In saying that, it's not going to be easy, mate. But you'll be fine. Train like you're going to jail, like you need to be ready to fight, ready to fucking roll because, mate, when you're small, they expect you to be agile. Out in the backyard, Kaz, sorry, mate, that's okay. Soak up those mosquitoes and have a good time, Buckaroony. Mate, love the dude. This guy was military. Sorry, his father was police force, was nearly killed, Then Buckaroony joined the army over 20 years, then went to police force, then went to prison guard, and now as a YouTuber, giving people just general common sense tips, living in the far north and does a hell of a lot of charity work. This is his second crack at the same channel. Married life got to him and he got rid of his channel and then realized, holy shit, you guys are valuable, and he's back. Hey, Simon, and Rafa is his dog as well. Roz is his missus. Hey, Simon, how's it going? First week back at work for me. All is good. Brady, imagine if you're in the military. You'd still have a couple of weeks to go, my man. How's your little one going too? Very well done, I hope. I know you're a good dad. Yourself and Mr. Kent, are two of my favourite people. Simon Powell, had some trouble with my legs, feet at the moment. Lots of pain, but otherwise all is good. Brady, Simon, we're going to have a talk tomorrow or after this if you would like. Tropical Salt, got rid of every fitness test. Lots of laughs. So true. I can't believe it. They got rid of the CFA, the combat fitness assessment, to replace that with the PESA, the personal employment standards assessment. They got rid of that. They say it's still there, but now they've got rid of that, and now they basically have nothing. It's going to hit some people very, very hard. We're going to get out of here in a sec, team. Can we get Latch some thumbs up? He's in the great unwashed. He's our fella on the screen at the moment. 39 months we've managed to hold his respect. I appreciate you, mate, and I hope that you do well. I could not be happier with what hopefully is going to happen in the world, where hopefully we're going to see some closest thing to peace. And I really, really hope that when Donald Trump comes in, that one, he punishes the people of the View. I hope they all lose their jobs. I don't normally wish ill on people, but they are scumbags, those chicks. But I hope we see peace in the Middle East. I hope that we see common sense come back. I hope we see happy children. I hope we see hope on people's faces in the UK, because they are going backwards goddamn fast. Let's make the world great again. We'll check in again soon. Kaz, jump on the Patreon ASAP. Take care of all. Barry, go and have a drink, get some bed turned down service for me. Don't go near the soy dogs. And mate, I look forward to talking to you, buddy. Jack Duff found a new coffee spot today. Kaz was unreal. Can't wait until I can start my own coffee van from my compounding interest. Jack, let's talk tomorrow as well. Tomorrow, I want you to piss me off for the amount of calls I get in one day. Signed up, shot a thank you. HD, thank you very much, mate. Salute to you. You're not going to regret it, mate. Hopefully you like the taste of a good McDonald's coffee. Chiggy Diggy sounds like something I get under my skin, when I'm in Tully. Scariest thing is the wait period from JOA to PFA, either 3 months or 1 year. Yep, Chiggy, you're absolutely right. There is no excuse for it. It disgusts me. Absolutely disgusts me. And we talk about that today on the Zero Limits podcast with Matty Morris. Pagey, we still run our unit through the PES at you, but that's the non-combat core one, isn't it? I don't hear about the combat cores running the combat PFA these days. Simon Powell throws Patreon up there. Simon Powell, great to have you here as usual. For those that want a Raffy question answered, he's the man to go to. Sounds good, Jackie. Jack. Nicole K says, Brady, my boy turned 28 last September and 29 this year. Holy shit, you started young. Well done. My daughter's 13 going on 37, I tell you. Team, we've been talking for a long time. It's an hour and 10 minutes. It's Friday. It's your Friday. You need to get some sleep because on the 20th, Donald Trump comes in, and that's going to be, regardless of what anyone says, the biggest day this year because no one knows what's coming. No one knows what's coming. You know, and if the world wanted peace, why are they badgering this man when all he wants is goodness? You know, it disgusts me. Even now, I'm waiting on the medical clearance since November. Security clearance was faster. Okay, is there actually something wrong with your chicky diggy? Let us know, man. Future 2RC legend, take it easy. God bless to all. God bless you all. Guys and gals, if this is your first time here, I appreciate you. You know, I need you to listen to podcasts. You know, I need you to listen to podcasts no matter who it does, because that's where a lot of our common sense actually comes down from, right? You guys take it easy. Simon, thank you very much for tonight. Mr. Buckering, let's go Trumpy. Elijah, had my PFA today. A group of about 30 blokes and not a single fail. Yes! Great to see enlistment on the 18th of next month. Elijah, love it, respect it. Your life's about to change. Guys and gals, let's become millionaires through our military careers. Don't do what Kaz did. Now, I'm going to teach you on what I know now. Dwayne Morris, hey Kaz, I'm joining Infantry Reserves ASAP, just waiting to do my medical. You're going to love it. Whereabouts in Australia are you, Dane? Whereabouts are you in Australia? Near Brisbane? Near Sunshine Coast? Let us know. All right, team. Hit the thumbs up button, you bastards. That was what Simon said. Gold Coast. Okay. Dwayne, we know a lot of people up that way, mate. Dane, sorry. Great Dane. Guys and gals, take it easy. Mucho respecto. I'm going to go and cook a double steak now to get some iron into me. And if you're getting near 50, make sure you go and get your clacker checked. We need you on this planet for a lot longer. I got an informal call next week with my recruiter. Okay, fantastic, White Maz, but it'll never be as good as a call with Kaz because guess what? I don't have an agenda. I'm in your corner. I want your life to be crazy good. You know, they want you to do what they want to tick off their list. Just remember that. Lots of love, Simon. From my mouth, Kaz is the best, mate. I wish the girls thought that, but they call me swipe left. See you later, team. Take it easy. And I'm going to go down. KYI, sorry, never seen this name before. Can't leave you out. I can select out of two of my selections of Army truck driver or commanding me own team. What? Out of Army truck driver or commanding me own team. Hi, it's KYI. I can select out of two of my selections of Army truck driver or commanding me own team. That doesn't even make sense. You won't get to do either or. Okay, truck driver you will if you get a transport. You know, but you'll also get your licenses if you go to engineers, you know, or MPs or signals, all those sort of things. So love your life, love your family, love your country, and remember, everyone that works deserves a trip to Thailand. See you later. Not so cow. Mucho respecto.